going on, y'all? It's your boy, the Famous Davis, and I am about to rip the maximum pledge contributor for the Kickstarter of the DC deck building combination. We got the Injustice deck building game. We've got the Multiverse of Villains, the Multiverse of Heroes, the DC Bombshells, which is a brand new addition. We got the brand new rivals between the Flash and Reverse Flash. We got the Supervillain playmat, the Injustice playmat, and we also have each version of the deck building games that came prior that are Multiverse edition. So let's start opening these things up. I had to wait super long to get it. Glad it's here. Shout out to Cryptozoic, lots of content. They never disappoint. All their games are fun and engaging, makes you think. And with the DC characters, really spices things up. So here we go. All right, got your standard booklet, which explains each deck building game. You got your KO tokens, your victory point tokens, and of course you have your charge meters. So each time you successfully attack one or more foes, you charge the meter. Your meter burn acts as, depending on what number you use or have in your possession, play your super move from underneath your character, then return it. All right, gave you quite a bit. Some more placers. Then you have your heroes. Oh, they gave them holographic. Let's take a quick look. Injustice Batman. The first time you discard or play a defense card each turn, charge your meter. Your meter burn, which costs 2, put a card with cost 4 or less from your discard pile on top of your deck. It's not bad. You got Injustice Green Arrow. The first time you play an equipment each turn, charge your meter and reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an equipment, you draw it. Otherwise, discard or return it. You're gonna have to have a setup for him to play. Injustice Harley Quinn, once per turn. If you have played 3 or more cards with different types this turn, draw a card and attack. You deal 2 damage to a target foe. That's not bad. Just gotta vary up the deck. You got Injustice Hawk Girl. You may put attack cards you gain on top of your deck. The first time you empty a foe's health bar each turn, you draw a card. Okay. Draw power is also good. Injustice Superman. The first time you play a superpower each turn, charge your meter and +1 power. Reduce the first damage dealt to you by a foe each turn by 1. Superman's always getting out of trouble. Injustice the Flash. When you are attacked for the first time each turn, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Each time you draw 1 or more cards during your turn, you charge your meter. Of course. Earth 1, the Joker. The first time you destroy a card each turn, charge your meter. Once during your turn, if you dealt 5 or more total damage to any foe this turn, look at the top card of your deck, destroy it or draw it. Okay, little deck cleanup as long as you cause a little chaos. Injustice Wonder Woman. Each time you play an attack card with cost 4 or greater, you charge your meter. And your meter burn, which costs 2, increase damage you deal to foes this turn by 1. All right. Little buff on the damage. Injustice Yellow Lantern. Each time you gain a hero, charge your meter. Each time you play a hero, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. It's a little situational. Injustice Lex Luthor. Each time you gain an equipment, charge your meter, and you may put it on top of your deck. Meter burn, which costs 1. You destroy a card in the lineup, refill the lineup. Oh, that's not bad. Little deck destruction. You got Injustice Nightwing. Once per turn, if you control 2 or more different non-starter cards with the same type, charge your meter and +1 power. All right. Decent enough. Injustice Shazam, once per turn. Charge your meter once for each different non-starter card type among cards you've played this turn. I want you to vary up your deck. Injustice Catwoman, each time you gain a card from the lineup, charge a meter. The first time you successfully attack any foe each turn, look at the top card of the main deck. Return it or add it to the lineup. It's not too great. It's not too bad either. Injustice Killer Frost, each time you play a villain, heal 1. Pay 2 health. Target foe cannot avoid your next attack this turn. This is actually really good. That's actually really good. Injustice Raven, each time you gain a superpower, you charge your meter. Once per turn, if you have played 2 or more different superpowers this turn, play a hero or villain from the lineup and then destroy it. Okay, that's good too. A Kickstarter backer card, each time you buy a card from the lineup, reveal the top card of the main deck. If it has a cost greater than the card you bought, add it to the lineup and +1 power. Okay, little fun character card from Cryptozoic. Now you got Injustice Sinestro. Each time you play a villain, put a card with cost 0 from your discard pile into your hand. Discard 2 cards, you charge your meter. It's not bad. But you don't want a whole bunch of 0 cards in your discard deck for a long period of time. And then you have the Batman Who Laughs. You may gain weakness cards from the destroyed pile. At the start of your turn, you may gain a weakness. If you do, play the top card of the main deck, then destroy it. Ooh. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And then you have your punches and the actual cards for the deck, which I'm gonna rather have a playthrough instead of explaining the cards and running through them. Then you have the other cards for the deck. Oh, those are super move cards. These are the actual cards for the deck. And every character has their own super move, got you. But instead of opening everything up and having to go through all of them and give a quick look, I'd rather just show you guys really quick what each one contains. And then once we get into the madness of it all, you'll see how the cards work in actual play, which in my opinion is way more fun. You know what? Let's open up the multiverse edition of one of the deck builders that have already been established. Let's go with Dark Knight's Metal. I like Dark Knight's Metal. It's actually my favorite. But I gotta tell you, it was packaged up really nicely. Nothing was missing. Everything came as it was expected to. That I am extremely grateful for. All right. I wonder if the cards look different or it's just more of the same. So let's see. I'll just open this one box and I'm pretty sure all the other boxes are gonna be relatively the same. So, all right. You got your punches, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities right here. I can tell from the different colors as they move along the packet. You got the core deck, your metal cards, and then you have a placer. You have the Batman Who Laughs that captures each character, and then you have your set of heroes. All right, so pretty much they give you the entire game, but it's in a nice small box. So it's like travel ready. You don't have to walk around with the whole big box if you don't want to, which is actually pretty cool. Saves you a lot of time. I play all around the country, so instead of having to walk with the entire box, I actually could just take this small compact box and I have the entire game with me. That's what's up. But then we have this, which is crossover pack number 9, just released, DC Comics Bombshells. Give that a quick look. And I am honestly not sure what game I'm gonna add it to, but what I'm noticing is that you got to buy more than one of these at a time, so that way, if the cards fit in more than one deck, you can actually place them wherever you want, wherever you feel they're comfortable and they have the most playability. All right, we'll just go over the heroes real quick, or villains, whichever one's in there. Holographic again, Wonder Woman. Discard 2 different cards, double the power of the next card you play this turn, and you can use it only once per turn. All right, that's not bad. Zatanna. The first time any player avoids an attack during each turn, look at the top card of your deck, destroy it, leave it on top, or put it at the bottom of your deck. This is actually good. Depends on what you have on top of your deck, though. You might not be able to utilize it to do deck destruction as much as you want. Thin out the deck. Mirror. Each time you play a hero, choose a foe. That foe cannot avoid your next attack this turn. Okay. Unblockable setups. Nice. Batwoman. Each time you play an equipment, add the top card of the main deck to the lineup. If it is an attack card, you may play it. If you do, return it to the lineup at the end of the turn. All right. Free attacks. Free attacks. Stargirl. At the end of each of your turns, if you gain 3 or more cards, you draw 2 extra cards. That's not bad, but this is definitely a card that works later on in the game because you're not going to be able to buy 3 cards as soon as you start. Supergirl. Each time you gain or play a card with cost 5 or greater during your turn, +1 power. All right, so a little build-up momentum. And you got Commander Waller, 1 power for each attack card you play during your turn. I figured it being Waller. But super happy to get it in because we were all waiting for months. They gave us updates along the way. I'm gonna open up the Rivals box and give that a look-see, which I do respect. Most Kickstarters, they don't really give you a bunch of updates every week. They kind of just tell you, hey, this thing is full, or oh, this thing is not full. And they kind of sit there and look at you like, well, we told them at this time what it was, and you're sitting there in limbo waiting. Instead, Cryptozoic as a company, super sick of them, they updated you every week, which I'm actually grateful for. You got the rule book right here. You got the deck of cards for the deck builder that you can purchase. You have your divider, but let's go through the actual heroes and, well, villain of this game, where it's pretty much confrontation for one-on-one. Same like Injustice, it's one-on-one, but it can also be 2-on-2, but I guess you can probably play as teams or not play as teams. The Flash, you pay 1 less to buy your first speedster car each turn. Once during your turn, discard a superpower, you draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. I figured. Flash level 2, +1 power for each hero you play. The second time you play a superpower each turn, put the top card of the main deck or a card with cost 1 or greater from the destroyer pile into the lineup. Okay, a little deck recovery so that you can buy a card that may have gotten blown up. And then you have the final form of Flash. On confrontation, each time you play a different superpower this turn, you draw a card, then you discard a card. Each time you play a hero this turn, +1 power, and put a card with cost 1 or greater from the destroyer pile on top of the main deck. Okay, well, he gets to cycle back and actually build power at the same time, which is not bad. You have Reverse Flash. The first time you play a villain during your turn, destroy a card in the lineup and draw a card. Okay. Reverse Flash level 2. Once during your turn, play a card from the destroyer pile with VP value less than the number of villains you control. Then destroy that card. Ugh, this is situational. Reverse Flash level 3. On confrontation, the first time you play a villain this turn, destroy the top card of the main deck. Once per turn, 1+ power for each card with cost 1 or greater you've played this turn that shares a type with a destroyed card. Ooh, this is going to be a nice little set of combinations that go on with this. So, pretty much the cards you destroy, if it's of the same type, you get +1 on top of it. Because realistically, at the forefront of confrontation, you're not really looking to collect points at the end. It's really you beat your opponent and you take their superpower cards for the victory. And then you have the mats. Take a look at the mat real quick. So this is our villain mat. Nice. Main deck. Villains itself, or heroes if you're playing against the heroes, which I'm sure you are. Superpowers or kicks, and then your weaknesses. Okay, nice, nice, not bad. Pretty much the print from the box, which I do like. Then you got the Injustice playmat. I have no idea how they set this up. I hope it's not Superman on it. If it is Superman on it, I would like it to be Superman versus Batman, because they're always fighting for whatever reason or purpose. Even though they're supposed to be the good guys on the same team, they're always fighting each other. Oh, it's just Superman. Damn. I really wanted it to be Superman and Batman, or like just two polar opposites. It's just Superman. I'm actually kind of disappointed by that. Not a Superman fan. Team Batman over here, Team Batman over here. I cannot tell a lie. But, so, I don't see the point in really opening up the multiverse version of Confrontations, Heroes Unite, Forever Evil, and Deck Builders 1 and Teen Titans, because, well, pretty much, these are already established. I'm sure you guys have seen all of these already. I really was just interested, like if they changed any text, if they nerfed any cards. I will definitely update you guys if they nerfed any of the cards and reprinted them so that they're not as cheesy or not as strong. Kind of like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, where they have to erode text because a card is just too good. So I won't open these just yet. I will let you guys know any later update. If they did, however, erode any cards and update them, make them more balanced, because one thing I can say about DC Deck Builder, if you get your deck ahead and you get the cards that are legit and lit, oh damn, it's pretty much over. So let's open Hero Box. All right. Like, it's a really thick box. Like, geez. I get it. You want to secure the cards and all that, but you don't have to make it so that you can't even open the thing. All right. So, of course, you got your rule book. Earth 1, Earth 2, VP tokens, multiple other tokens. You have your card dividers, and this is the core. It slid away from me, but I got it. This is the core of the multiverse for the heroes. I noticed that all the core decks, when it comes to like multiverse, they're really small. Look at that. There's not a lot of cards in there, but that's where you come in and you get up and you add all the cards from any other set and you build it exactly how it is you want. And I guess this is where we have our new locations. I wonder if they're exactly new. Let's take a look. Quick look. Metropolis. If you play 3 or more superpowers during your turn, you choose a foe, resolve your champion's attack or first appearance attack against that foe. All right. Flashpoint Gotham City. If you play 2 or more villains during your turn, choose a foe, resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe. All right, not bad. You got Fawcett City. If you play 3 or more cards from sets other than the main deck's set during your turn, choose a foe. Resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe. Ooh, all right. You got 30th Century Metropolis. If you play 2 or more heroes during your turn, choose a foe. Resolve your champion's attack / first appearance attack against that foe. All right. Gotham City. If you play 2 or more equipments during your turn, choose a foe, resolve your champion's and first appearance attack against that foe. You know Batman with his equipments and his gadgets. Hub City. If you play 2 or more attack or defense cards during your turn, you choose a foe and resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe. All right. Earth 2. If you buy or gain a card from each lineup during your turn, choose a foe and resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe. All right. If you play 4 or more cards with no printed power, choose a foe. Resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe in the Dark Multiverse. Dark Multiverse would be the sickest place. And then you have Injustice Metropolis. Each time you destroy 1 or more cards with cost 1 or greater, choose a foe, resolve your champion's attack, first appearance attack against that foe. I can see the mistext right here. Cost 1 of greater. I know you mean or greater, so I didn't misread it. I just corrected it for you. All right, that's not bad. It's pretty cool. Where are the character cards? Oh no, there's no character cards. Hold up. Unless I'm tripping out. It should be in here. Oh, nah. No character cards? Dang. And these are like, I guess, where you would store your cards or character, the excess cards to kind of compress it. These are empty. Oh, wow. So I guess you just build it up as you go. Whatever characters you want to put in there, you put them in. That's it. Yeah, these don't have any characters in there. Just the dividers for each set. All right, well, that's part of the fun. You can get any characters you want and just mix it up. Building it how you want. That's actually the best part of the game. So, no big. Knowing me, I will get up and I will put every single character that is imaginable. I will not care. I will get all the promos. I will buy doubles of the card, character, superhero card, even the villains, and I will just throw them all in there so it is a full variety brawl. Let's see. Might as well open the villain version really quick. See what those locations might look like. Because I'm sure they're different, but they have the exact same effects. All right. Again with the box that won't open. Oh no. on, imagine when I put cards in here. Come on. There we go. All right. So, still the regular first box deck building game rulebook. I actually expected to see the villains on it since it's supposed to be a different game. And then Earth 1, Earth 2. Drop these. Empty. Oh, no. Oh, it's the exact same one. It's just the villain version of the box. Yeah, same cards. Well, that doesn't bother me because usually with me, like I said, I usually travel, so I can have one that is strictly pick up and go wherever it is I'm going across the country. And I can have one at home that I use for stream and, you know, at base games. And then pretty much I'll be prepared to play no matter where I go, which is no problem. Sick, sick, sick. Now, what they gave us for actually meeting the pledge was a whole bunch of pledge rewards, which are actually new cards added into our deck building series. Run through them real quick and give them a look. So you have Raven. Reveal the top card of the main deck. If it has 4 or less, gain it and put it on top. Oh, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. This card starts on the top of the superhero stack. So you will be fighting Raven first if you choose to put this card into your game. And the effect is actually pretty sick. If the top card of the main deck is 4 or less, I mean, most of the cards are between 1 and 4. Like the cards 5, 6, 7, and 8, that's where they get real limited. They might have 1 copy, maybe 2. So this is actually a good hero to defeat early on in the game. And you have Hawk Girl. You may play up to 2 attack cards from the lineup, and if you choose not to, you get +3. And her first appearance attack is each player destroys a card with cost 1 or greater in their hand unless they reveal an attack card from their hand. Oh, okay. A little give to get. You got Starfire, +3 power each time you play a different superpower this turn. Reveal the top card of your deck, draw it, or destroy it. And her first appearance attack is each player reveals the top card of their deck and destroys it, or passes it to the discard pile of a foe of their choice. Okay, so this is pretty much the Devastator from Dark Knight's Metal effect. But they do give you a choice. You can reveal it and destroy it, or you pass it to somebody else. And if you want to be that jerk, you'd probably just destroy it. Don't give your friends any good cards, or your opponents for that matter, any good cards to use against you. Red Hood, +3 power, and each time you play an equipment this turn, you may destroy a card in the lineup, and if you do, you draw a card. The first appearance attack is each player destroys a hero or a villain in their discard pile. Not bad. King Shark, 3+ power, and you may destroy a card in your hand. If you do, gain VP equal to the card cost of the destroyed card, which isn't bad because at the end of the game, you need all the points you can get. So some cards might not be actually useful to hold on to. So instead, you might just want the VP. First appearance attack, each player destroys the highest cost card in their hand or discard pile and gains VP equal to the destroyed card's VP value. And a star equals 3. Dang. I mean, it's a risky move, but the highest cost card, hopefully you don't have anything crazy in there. But they gave us a ton of anniversary reprints that I'm really thankful for, because some of these cards on eBay alone, the cost is ridiculous. So you'd be pretty happy if you were me right now or anybody else that went and put up the extra money for the pledge. So that way you would just get a copy instead of having to pay too much for it. Like Felix Faust, you may put a card of each different cost from 0 to 8 from your discard pile into your hand. That's actually a sick effect. You can pretty much build a whole new hand with this one card played alone. But you know what? The first appearance attack kind of has me off guard. If anybody knows exactly how it works, let me know in the comments section exactly how you play this out, because I've played out Felix Faust with a couple of friends a couple of times, and even I was a little lost. Like, so what if they don't have enough cards in their hand? Like, how exactly does it work? Set one card in your hand in front of you, then pass each remaining card in your hand to the player on your left. Repeat this process until no cards remain in player's hands. A lot of the times Felix Faust comes up, it ends up being a one-on-one game, so I'm not sure if you give your entire hand except for one card, or if you just don't do the effect, if there aren't enough cards to be, traded off. So let me know in the comments exactly how Felix Faust works. Oh, Gotham City Docks, locations, once they're played in front of you, like so, they stay there permanently unless they play a card where they say, yeah, you have to put your location in a discard pile. The ongoing effect is once during each of your turns, you may put a card with cost 6 or less from the lineup to the bottom of the main deck, and if you do, you can replace it for a card on top of the main deck. You have Gypsy, which is another ongoing card. When this card rotates upright, you draw a card, and this card gains a card type of your choice this turn. Each time you play a card that shares a card type with this card, you rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. So pretty much, you would take this card, have it played up like so, and unless you change the type using like Plastic Man or another ability or effect, you'd rotate it 4 times. Once she's upright, for the 4th time, you draw one card from your main deck, from your actual deck, not the main deck, and then you'd be able to pick a card from the lineup to gain for free. Pretty sick card, but you need other heroes or other card types that match, that you label as, to make it work. I've seen a lot of people pick up Gypsy and then all of a sudden they will buy every single card type that is aligned with her, and then you gain nothing. Forager. +1 power. Destroy a card in the lineup and replace it. If you have 9+ power, you can gain a card from the destroy pile. Sick recovery card. And really nice in the clutch too, because you could gain that card, then use another card to get that same card you just gained back into your hand. Or you can play another card to be a doppelganger and clone it from the discard pile. So Forager is actually pretty good. I went ahead and bought a whole bunch of Foragers and Gypsies ahead of time. So having these extras, it's nice to have extras, but if anything, I would probably let them go for people who weren't able to get them, so that they would have them in their own game. So at least they have them and they can use them too. And then you got Clayface. You reveal the top 3 of your deck, then discard all cards with the highest cost revealed this way, and you draw the rest. So let's say you draw a 6, a 5, and a 4. You would discard the 6 and you would pick up the 5 and the 4. Sometimes if I am playing it right and I end up with, let's say, 2 6s and a 3, I think you get to choose which 6 you let go of, and then you take the other 6 and the 3. But most of the time I use this card, if I do buy it, it bites me. It does not work well with me. I kind of avoid this card because usually it ends up having me lose cards I do need, or I don't get to run the play that I actually wanted to, so I avoid this card personally. But I've seen people play with it and do well with it, and kudos to them. But with Martian Manhunter, the actual superhero card, if you play 2 or more villains during your turn, you get +3. So you play 2 or more heroes during your turn, you get +3. So ultimately, if you play 2 heroes or more, you get +3. But if you play 2 heroes or more with 2 villains or more, you get +6. It's +3 with either one, but you'll get +6 all around if you happen to play 2 heroes, 2 villains. This is actually not a bad card to buff up your play for the turn. Starfire, once during each of your turns, if there are no superpowers in the lineup, draw a card, which is pretty rare because for me, in my personal experience, there's always a superpower somewhere. And if it isn't there, it's coming. This card right here, this is probably the most expensive promo. I've seen it online for $100. I'm like, yo, it's just one card. But I mean, I guess you only had to go to tournament recipients were the ones who were able to get it. So that's why they racked up the price so high. But with the Skitter superhero card, once during each of your turns, if you control 4 different cards with the cost 1, 2, 3, you get 3+ power. The four need to not all be the same cost. All right, that's not bad. So if you play different cards of different cost, 1, 2, or 3, you get +3. But it seems like a lot of effort just to get a +3. But it's nice to have. Kid Flash. Whenever you buy or gain a card, you may add the top card of the main deck to the lineup. This is sick because you might have foresight on what the actual top card of the main deck is. So you buy a card just to get that card thrown into the lineup. Now you can buy that too if you generate enough power. The Joker. Once during each of your turns, you may destroy a villain you have played this turn. If you do, draw a card and attack. Each foe gains a weakness. Works really well in Dark Knight's Metal. Really well in Dark Knight's Metal. Along conjunction with Plastic Man, because you can just say, hey, the next card type I play is a metal villain card. You play whatever, it's a metal villain, and then you can use his effect, destroy it, draw a card, everybody gets a weakness. Really bad for those competitive games. Then you have Vixen. Once during each of your turns, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a hero +2, villain, destroy a card in your hand. Equipment, you pay 3 less to destroy supervillains, and superpower, you draw the card. Really sick card if you actually build your deck the way how you want it, so that every time you use her ability, you could destroy a card in your hand, you could make the villain weaker to defeat, you can draw a card or a +2. All it takes is that you vary up your deck so that you actually get the effect you need. Then you have Bane. If the first card you play during each of your turns has a cost of 1 or greater, you can destroy it, and if you do, you get an extra +2. A little iffy on the Bane. Could be beneficial, but it depends. I'd probably use this in like Forever Evil. I'll probably use it in Forever Evil. That's where it's probably most applicable. Black Lightning. You discard X amount of cards, which could be any amount of cards. You would put a card with the cost of X from your discard pile into your hand, and X cannot equal 0. So if I discard 2 cards that equal the number 8, using Dark Knight's Metal for an example because, well, it's my favorite, I can pick up 8th Metal Sunblade using the cost of 8. This is actually good for card recovery. Actually, card recovery is pretty sick all in itself. But I like to have those type of options. Gorilla Grodd. Once during each of your turns, you may discard a card. If you do, play a card in the lineup with the same cost or 1 higher. Return at the end of the turn. This is actually a sick card. I've seen a lot of people use him just to play a card in the lineup, and it helps them turn the entire game around. Then you're sitting there like, oh shit, it's Grodd. And of course, you have Deathstroke. When you destroy a card once per turn, you may draw a card. Useful card for deck cleanup and other combinations depending on what it is you're trying to do. But these right here, these are the brand new heroes and villains that they gave out for the promo for us meeting the goal. You got Jessica Cruz at the start of your turn. If there are 4 or more cards with different types in your discard pile, you could draw a card. Not bad. Gives you an option to draw a card once you start buying cards and making your deck, colorful. Lobo. At the start of your turn, add the top card of the main deck to the lineup. If you buy that card this turn, you may destroy a vulnerability or weakness in your hand or discard pile. This is fucking sick. this is a good ass card. It's all up to chance from the top of the main deck, but if you get like a 2 or a 3 and you buy it, then well, you get to destroy a vulnerability or a weakness. So I like this card just because it does run a bit of random effect to happen, because you can take the top card of the main deck into the lineup. It could be a 7. You don't have 7 power at the start of the game, so you're kind of gonna have to bite the bullet on that. But this is still a sick card that you could clean up your deck from vulnerability or weaknesses. Solomon Grundy. You discard 1 punch. You may put any cards you gain this turn on top of your deck. That is broken. That is a fucking broken effect. That is nice. Not that you would want to hold punches for the whole game or a long duration of the game, but cards you gain this turn you can put on top of your deck, that's nice. Always being ready to draw or create setups for the next turns following, sick. And then you have Supergirl. Once per turn, if you played a hero and a superpower this turn, put a different superpower from your discard pile into your hand. All right, that's not bad. You get to recycle out of the discard pile and hopefully play another card to extend your play, or at least generate more power. So that is all of the cards I got out of the 350 pledge for the Kickstarter. My honest critique and review is I've never used Kickstarter before, and I kind of looked at it like, it might be a scam, I don't know. But I've heard from several different sources when it came to certain projects that, you know, they are legit. They mail out your stuff when the pledge is made and the product is complete. So having played DC Deck Builder for years now, once they had a Kickstarter, I threw my money into it right away. We met our goals, we superseded our goals, and there were a whole bunch of pledge rewards along the way. It was a great experience. Every week I was updated with, hey, this is what we're trying to achieve, this is what we're trying to do. And when they met those goals, we were rewarded for it. So shout out to everybody who actually contributed to the Kickstarter. Also, I want to say that Cryptozoic as a company has never disappointed. If they ever messed up an order, they're quick to fix it. They will resolve the issue quick, fast, in a hurry. And they make their products of quality, not just of quantity. So if you do decide to get into a deck building game, because they have several different types, I just prefer the DC ones because the artwork, the mechanics, and the actuality of the game, it's not too difficult to understand. It's pretty quick to pick up, especially if you play a bunch of tabletop games that require your own deck building and your own deck management. Really fun, really easy to play, really interesting. Definitely give it a look and see if you get into it. But that is my take on the pledge. Was worth it. Don't want to make the video too long, so I will see you guys on the next one.